Hey, how's it going, folks? Just doing another video today, recording, sorting through some cards from the 90s. What have we done since where we last picked off? Well, today is apparently amateur hour, and I just recorded a nice 30-minute video without my headset on. It was literally sitting across the room, and so the audio quality on that is just not usable at all. So, what we're going to do instead is just do a recap of the cards that I went through during that video. So basically, we went through all my Exodus cards. We conditioned them and sorted them out. These are all of the cards that we pulled that are meeting my qualifications for near mint. Um, and then we also pulled all of these cards that I filtered down into LP cards. Um, got one card here that is that isn't actually Exodus. It's a from a box set into just hiding its way in here. But it's still originally from Exodus, so we'll keep it in here. But in any case, then we also went through and did the same thing with Urza Saga cards. Here's all this Urza Saga cards that we ended up picking out and sorting into the near mint category. Quite a few good solid cards here, and and then we've also got our Urza Saga cards that I deemed as LP, and will get listed in the LP range for all of these cards. And then I had a handful of cards that I set aside, like this. These two are MP cards that were pulled out, and then I believe all of these cards were damaged in some way. You can see that this one is quite water damaged. We've got some creasing on here. This almost looks like there was a quarter sitting on this card at some point, and it got indented. Got a crease on the center of that card. And then these two have some ink. It looks like they were part of a collection that I bought from my cousin, actually, that had a bunch of ink on it, and looked like a pin exploded in his collection. And so almost everything from that collection was pretty unusable as far as selling is concerned. And then obviously we've got some water damage on this card here, so just some random cards that we came across that were water damaged, um, and otherwise not very usable. We'll see how those end up. So then I figure, since you missed all of the sorting and going through on these cards here, we'll chug right along into Urza's Legacy. I'll probably just do that and then call it. Be a little bit shorter than my original intended video, but considering we missed out on the sorting process for two sets, we'll just have to deal with one set here and a recap on those cards. So what do we got for Urza's Legacy? Looks like we've got uh, some cards are going to be here. I don't know as far as value. I don't remember what were the kind of mid value cards in Urza's Legacy. Again, all the high dollar cards have already been filtered out of this, I'm sure, and anything reserve list should also probably not be in here. I have found that some reserve list cards have slipped through my sorting from years ago. But yeah, all in all, Urza's Legacy was a lot less exciting than the last two sets, Exodus and Urza Saga. There's a much shorter list of cards we're actively looking for here. The first one on our list is Crawl Space, and that one is going to be an artifact. I'm not very familiar with Crawl Space. Wasn't a card I ever played with, um, but we'll see. We'll see what we got here. Looks like crawl spaces are not in here. That would suggest we've got a reserve list card. Defense Grid, I believe I didn't see any of those. Those are cards that would have been played with and sorted out somewhere else, and as well as core set reprint, which all my core set reprints have been filtered out years ago, basically as the sets came out. It's very interesting. Looks like the only green cards we have here are Hidden Gibbon. Something is going on with this. Let me do a quick peek and see if we've got some more Urza's Legacy somewhere else that we're missing. So far, I'm not seeing it, but so there's just something weird with Urza's legacy green cards. Well, this might explain it. We've got Deranged Hermit here, which is obviously a reserve list card that's somewhere else. Quite a pricey card. I think I've got about 8 Deranged Hermits, so I might want to consider selling some of those off. We've got our Goblin Welder, which also is would have already been filtered out of here. Grim Monolith would have been filtered out of here. I think I've got a playset of those still floating around. Hidden Gibbons. We just mentioned that one. Looks like our only green card, and so yeah, we can just move right along past green cards from here on out. Then we got our Iron Maidens. Let's see what we got there as far as those go. What was this? This was a like a Library of Alexandria reprint, right? Opponent upkeep. No, it's a rack, more of a rack sort of card. Let's see if we've got any more Iron Maidens in here. It looks like we do. And one more. How many does that leave us with? A playset looks like 4 total on Iron Maidens. Then we got Karmic Guides. I don't expect to find those here. I kept those set aside for because I used them in Cube and things like that. I had a Vintage Cube and things that ended up in Vintage Cube quite often didn't stick around here. Then we got Memory Jar. That I would be very surprised to find in here. Just broken in half card. I'm sure I have some of them, but they're just not mixed into what I would consider bulk. Then we got Might of Oaks. I'm actually aware that those are, well, and then Multani Marrow Sorcerers. Both of those are just core set reprints. So then we got some No Mercies. Or we're looking for No Mercy, I should say. And looks like we're not finding any No Mercies in here. We got our Palancron. That's going to be a reserve list. I know I've got at least a playset of those. I would be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised if I have about 7 of those going off of memory. We got Quicksilver Amulet. That's another core set reprint that would have been filtered up into core set stuff years ago. I'm not too surprised that that's at least a little bit popular on the casual front. Radiant Archangel. I know I've got a foil one of those floating around in my. I think I still have that. I know I did for years and years. I had a foil, but that's also a reserve list. So in the very short window of when you could get reserve list foils, I believe that card is quite pricey if I recall correctly. So now we're looking for Second Chance. And not seeing any second chances here. Subversion. There's one right at the top of the pack. And a couple more. And yeah, even another playset of those down there. And finally, we've got Weatherseed Treefolk. That was a card that I actually played with that card in a Landy Stompy deck back in the day. So that probably just isn't in here because of that more than any other reason. So in any case, it looks like Legacy or Urza's Legacy here looks like it's a bit of a dud as far as like bulk. There's not that many expensive cards. The cards that are expensive were well played and or reserve list cards that wouldn't have made it down into here. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on and do one more set then. Since Urza's Legacy was not very exciting, let's see if we can get a little bit more exciting than that. And move on to Urza's Destiny. Let's see, didn't quite cut that perfectly. I thought we were very close, but no, it looks like we have a whole pile of Mercadian Mask cards in here. We cut it exactly to the black on Mercadian Masks, and then we've got what looks like a very damaged Pattern of Rebirth. Here is clearly some serious water damage there. Not all that many. This is a pretty small stack here, so this is probably just not going to be a very exciting video as we are going through the latter half of Urza Saga that was just wasn't as exciting as some of the other sets that we've gone through. Um, so let's see what can we find here. Academy Rectors. I know I actually have some of those in right behind me. I think I pulled those out for whenever I was building pre-modern, and they ended up in my stack of cards that is in behind me. So we've got some Apprentice Necromancers in here, and looks like we've got plenty of those. A total of 6 Apprentice Necromancers. We'll go ahead and set those out. And then Attrition. Looks like we don't have any of those here. Aura Theft. Let's see here. What do we got for Aura Theft? Not any in here. Carnival of Souls. I believe that's a reserve list card, so I'm not expecting to find any here. Get these. There's only 2 black cards left that are possible hits on our kind of low end bulk. And then we've got a Covenant Dragon. And nope, not any in here. Donate. The donate was a part of tricks back in my legacy days, so that probably would have been filtered out into my legacy cards. Elvish Piper, I believe, is a core set reprint, and so those would be somewhere else. Then we've got Flicker. Yeah, looks like we do have a couple Flickers. 2 of those so far, and another 2 for a full playset. And that's it. And let's go ahead and put this False Prophet up here with these other False Prophets, and the Master Healer with the other Master Healer. And then we've got Junk Diver as the next card on our list of things that we could potentially find. And nope, not finding any of those. Masticor, that was back in my day, that was far from a bulk card. Whenever that was standard legal, that was like a $30 card. Metal Worker is definitely a reserve list. I think I've got 5 of those, if I recall correctly, going off the top of my head. Opalescence, those are currently I've got those in a pre-modern deck, so would not expect to find those here. Opposition, that card is very annoying to play against. If anybody has ever seen that, maybe in Cube nowadays. Now we've got our Pattern Rebirth. We've got a Pattern Rebirth, all right, but not anything that is going to see the light of day on TCGPlayer. But I do remember seeing a couple more of them in here. So we've got a pair of Pattern Rebirth there, and looks like a third. Phyrexian Negator. Wasn't this the card that got that's reserve list that actually got reprinted as a foil? Plow Under. That was definitely a card that I played with. Pretty brutal card. I think this is also a core set reprint, so I'm surprised there's just 1 in here. Not surprised that there's only 1 in here, because I believe my other Plow Unders would have ended up in core set, and this one just is a straggler that got left behind. Then we got Powder Keg and Repercussion. Not seeing either of those. Oh, and then we got Replenish. My Replenish is also in pre-modern, in a pre-modern deck currently. Raphalos. That's definitely reserve list, so not surprised not to find that. Storage Matrix. Not seeing any of those right now. And then we got Treachery, another reserve list card. So we're not going to find that. Urza's Incubator, which I believe is also a reserve list card. Yavimaya Hollows, I believe is also reserve list. And finally, Yawgmoth's Bargain, another reserve list card. So, pretty, again, as far as sets are concerned, These last two, the later blocks of Urza Saga, the most exciting cards in those sets are either like highly playable and expensive reserve list cards, or bust. So they're just not in the bulk box. So we don't have very many things to go through, but let's go ahead and condition these. These are all the cards that we found in this video. So let's go ahead and do a conditioning check on these. So looking for anything that is not quite to hit my standard for near mint. First by looking at the back, and then we'll also take a quick peek at the front and see if anything jumps out at us there. So far, some of these are kind of borderline. Not too bad, but a little bit borderline on some of these. And then take a quick, that one now it's not too bad. And then we'll take a quick peek at the front and see if there's anything that jumps out us there. How's this little whitening on the corner there? I guess I will consider that LP. Just a little bit on the corner, not too bad. Got quite a bit down here on that card, as well as some whitening on that card. Yeah, we'll set that aside too, as well as these hidden gibbons. And there we have it. So we've got our pretty small stack of cards here, all in all, of mostly like what I would consider to be $1 to $5 cards that we'll put on TCGPlayer. Get these all listed today. So between we've got a pretty healthy stack if you count all of the ones that happened off camera, or well, on camera with no audio. So we've got a pretty decent stack of cards here that we're going to be putting onto TCGPlayer from our sorting efforts today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you're into that sort of thing, and I hope you all have a good day.